What's going on, y'all? We got a lot to talk about in this video, so it's going to be a bit of a long video. I'm not sure exactly how long, but I will put timestamps down below for each archetype that you might be looking for. All right, now before we get into it, if you could drop a like on the video for me, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, I made a bet with my friend that I could hit 5K followers on Instagram by the end of the weekend, so if you could go follow me, we're like a couple hundred away, that would be great. Anyways, on to what you came here for. Today, we're talking about archetypes. I don't know what I'm making next year because I don't have all the information, but with the information that we have, I'm going to talk about every archetype in the game. Now listen, before we get into it, we don't know that, well, we do know it's going to be dual archetypes, but doesn't mean that the dual archetypes or pure archetypes are going to have the same badges that they had in 2K18. The system is the same, but they could still alter attributes, they could still alter badges, things like that. You know what I mean? If you made a sharpshooting playmaker, doesn't mean in 2K19 you're going to have the same badges and attributes you had in 2K18, because we don't know that. We haven't confirmed that. We can't assume that. So just know I'm taking that into consideration before I give you my opinions of each archetype here. Okay, so this dude Michael, he made this nice chart over on Twitter for us, so this is what we're going to use. You see how he breaks down each archetype by position, big man, and point guard, shooting guard, small forward. So the first one we're going to talk about is Playmakers. And right now what we know about them is from their Takeover, from the Takeover system, they're the only build that can break ankles, and they get a boost on their shooting and on their dimer after they break ankles. Now, for those of you making a playmaking build, you see right here, you need 86 ball control to be able to momentum. Same as last year, same as 2K18 and 2K17 and I think 16 and 15. To be able to momentum, you need 86 ball control. So the first thing, if you're going to make a playmaking build, primary playmaking build, you better make sure you're going to have 86 ball control. Now, obviously, I can't tell you what to make yet because, like I said, we don't have all the information. But make sure before you put that VC into your primary playmaker, whether it's a pure or a dual archetype, make sure you have 86 ball control. Otherwise, you're wasting your money. Because if you can't momentum, there's no reason to have that playmaking build. The way you're going to combo up and everything is through being able to momentum and all those good things. So make sure you have 86 ball control. Now, the thing with primary playmaking, in my opinion, the best guard build in 18 was a sharpshooting secondary playmaking primary, and honestly I think that's going to be again the best point guard build the way this game is looking. Make sure whatever you're putting with that playmaking build suits your style. You know, if you're going to be running twos a lot, I would recommend going with a shot creating playmaker. But if you're going to be playing pro-am and threes and stage and all that, I think sharpshooting playmaker is the way to go. But of course, like I said, make sure it suits your style of play. Okay, moving on, the next one is a shot creator. Shot creators get a boost when shooting. Advanced jumpers like spin and step back shots can also break ankles with step back jumpers when in takeover. So unique to shot creators this year in 2K19, when they're in takeover mode, they're the only build that can break people using the hop step. So if you like to use the hop step, this is the build for you. What I will tell you is obviously we don't know the badges and all that, but you're going to get difficult shots Hall of Fame if you are a pure shot creator, because that's what they do. If you're a twos player and you like to play twos, shot creators are a great way to go. Now, if you're more of a threes player, you know, shot creators are mid-range players. Obviously, they can shoot threes, but they are mid-range players. So if you're going to be playing threes, I'm going to recommend, like I just said, go with some type of sharpshooting build because shooting always rules. Three-point shooting is very important, especially for guards in 2K. Now, if you're going to rock a shot creator, guys, right? If you're going to rock a shot creator, to me, it sounds like you better have a way to implement those hop steps and hop jumpers because it sounds like that's going to be very overpowered. So if that's not your game, don't make a shot creator. There's no reason. Whatever you're going to make sure it is something that suits your play style and you're going to use it to the best of its ability. Also, what I will say with shot creators is obviously it's a new game, but in 2K18, a 6'7" playmaking shot creator was a very, very tough build to stop on the twos. We'll see what it's going to be like in 2K19, but for those of you thinking of a shot creator, keep that in mind. For our next archetype, sharpshooter. What we know about sharpshooters is when they're in takeover, the green window for a sharpshooter becomes even bigger, meaning it's easier for you to hit greens, easier for you to get perfect timing on your shots. Also, when you're in takeover, you get the full potential of your shooting badges, meaning you're going to be able to shoot from very, very deep. You know, that limitless range is going to be enhanced when you're in takeover. Now listen, if you're going to make a sharpshooter, guys, a primary sharpshooter, whether it's a dual or a pure, you have to realize shooting will always rule in 2K. If you're going to make your first build and it's going to be a pure sharpshooter, you can't go wrong. Unless you're going to make them like 5'7", like I did. But if you're making a serious sharpshooter build, you really cannot go wrong because, listen, you're not going to be able to momentum with a pure sharp this year. There's no way they're going to allow it. Same thing as in 2K18. The biggest thing is that you can defend and that you can hit open shots. Every team needs one of those players. Now, you might not be the main go-to man, but that's fine. You can still play a role in a very good team if you go with a primary sharpshooting build. Now, if you go secondary playmaking, I think it's going to be the same as 18. You're not going to be able to speed boost, but obviously you'll be able to have a little bit of a boost on your ball handling. I don't recommend that build. I'd say either go with a pure or something like a slashing sharpshooter where you can go inside, things like that. Moving on. Slashers. Slashers get a big boost when using Euro, Cradle, Hop Step, and Spin Lays and boosted contact shots in Takeover. Dunkers unlock special contact dunks that no one else gets. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, a primary slasher, in my opinion, is not a comp build. It's not a build you're going to take out when like all the marbles are on the table and you got to win that game. To me, it's more of a build for fun, and it sounds like they're going to be able to do some crazy athletic plays this year, like the spin into a dunk, the Euro into a dunk. That's going to be some highlight material. But listen, if you're looking to sweat, if you're looking to win, in my opinion, again, this is all my opinion, do not go with a primary slasher. It's not the way to go. Maybe in Pro-Am, I guess if you make a sharpshooting slasher, I could see you rocking that in Pro-Am. But anywhere else, I don't see a primary slasher being a go-to comp build. But if you're looking to enjoy your time on the park, definitely make a slasher. You can have so much fun on a slasher. I made one this year in 2K18 and I enjoyed the hell out of them, just going and getting contact dunks and just seeing what crazy animations you can get. So it depends on the type of player you are. Next, defenders. Now this is interesting because they're putting a lot of emphasis on defenders. Shot contest boosts, ability to cut off dribblers and make them pick up the ball, cancel out offensive takeover skills, boosted steals, and on and on and on. They get special animations. You guys can read it for yourself. I'll leave it up here for a few seconds. Listen, apparently defense as a whole has been completely improved, right? Offensive players can't zigzag. Blow-bys have been completely nerfed. You can still snatch back, but the contact snatch back where like you just get that animation that you're running into the guy and then snatch it back and he jumps 6 feet back is taken out of the game. We've all heard about all these things, right? Or I hope so. If you've been watching my news videos, you guys know about this. Subscribe if you're new, by the way. But think about this. If defense has been improved, plus they're giving lockdowns all these special abilities, a lockdown could be very, very valuable, especially, I don't know about a pure lock because then you're really limiting his offensive abilities in terms of shooting, but a sharpshooting lockdown, I think that build's going to be very, very good this year, especially as a small forward. Next, we are on to the bigs. Rebounder. This is big news for me because I'm really thinking about this one. Glass cleaners get a lot of love this year. One of my favorite additions in Takeover. They get a target on the floor showing where the ball is going to go on missed shots. Gives them a huge rebounding advantage. They also get elbow clear outs after offensive boards prior to putbacks. Listen, I'm going to tell you all right now, my honest opinion. I made a primary rebounder to start 2K18, and I was 100% right in doing that. Think about this. I'm not going to put any names out there because I'm not trying to disrespect anybody's game or anything like that. But people that you guys tell me are top sharpshooters because you watch their videos and they shoot greens. I don't go by videos. Anybody could post a good video. I go by the stats. I checked out their stats after a week or two, and they're only shooting about 50 to 55% from 3 because they haven't figured out how to shoot yet on the new game. Guess what is so valuable in the start of every 2K? A glass cleaner. Somebody that can board those missed shots because people have to figure out how to shoot on the 2K before they become good at it. A glass cleaner will always be valuable, especially early in the year. Next, a post scorer. Post scorers get a lot in Takeover. Power backdowns, clear outs, and spin and drive content unique to their archetype. Boosted hooks, fades, shimmies. Listen, a post scorer. Again, it depends on what you play. If you're running twos or you like the one-on-one court, even I'll give you Pro-Am. A post scorer is a great build to have. If you're going to play threes, it's not bad, but you have to use them correctly. The offense can't be run through you, in my opinion, because three-pointers rule. I think you can use the post as a bailout, but definitely don't run the offense through the post, because you should be looking to get 3 open threes if you can early in the shot clock. You shouldn't be dumping it down to the post and he goes, you know, into back down mode and you're trying to get a 2. But if you're playing 2s where it's make it take it and things like that, I'd highly recommend a post as your first build. Now you have to make the decision. We have to wait and see on badges, obviously, because just because the archetype system is the same doesn't mean the badges will be the same for each build. So let's see what happens, and you know, you got to decide if you want a sharp, a shot creating, a slashing, a pure post, whatever you, rebounding post, whatever you want. We got to wait and see. The next archetype we got is stretch bigs. Takeover modifies shot windows for shooting builds to make it easier for them to hit perfect timing. Same thing as pure sharps, and same thing in terms of the limitless range being boosted and catch and shoot and all the other shooting badges being boosted. Now listen guys, a lot of y'all been asking me about stretch big. Is it going to be a good build? Is it going to be a good build? Listen to what I'm saying. A shooting build in 2K will always have value. Now listen, it's not going to be like 2K18 because they already told us heavily contested shots and smothered shots are not going to be green, and they're not going to be going in like they did in 2K18. So obviously stretch bigs aren't going to be as overpowered, but somebody who is 7'3" or whatever the max height is going to be that can shoot from limitless range will always have value. You have to understand that. Now, if there's no animation glitch, and some of you are like big on the animation glitch and stuff, listen, any comp player does it. So otherwise you're at a disadvantage. So obviously we're all going to do it. But listen, I'm all for no animation glitch, as long as it's a level playing field for everyone. If someone does animation glitch, obviously I'm going to do it. Otherwise, I'm at a disadvantage. But I hope there's no animation glitch. That way, centers actually have to play center. That way, stretch bigs are not out there ISOing up. They actually have to play like a stretch big and set screens, pick and pop, spot up, whatever. You know, I'm all for that. Obviously, they're not going to be as overpowered as they were in 2K18 because contested shots are no more. But shooting archetypes, no matter what shooting archetype, will always have value. You have to realize that. Next, we have athletic finishers. Basically the same as slashers, but they can clear out guys in the paint before dunks, since it's tougher for them to beat guys off the dribble. So basically, you know, it's the same as a slasher, but there's more value in an athletic finisher, in my opinion, than a slasher in terms of a comp build. I could say athletic is a comp, like a sharp athletic. You know, you see that build in Pro-Am a lot, but listen, athletic finishers are always going to be OP in the paint because, you know, they're getting their relentless finisher and posterizer and all those badges. They are, I don't want to say one of the least skilled archetypes to use, but I just mean like it's one of the easiest ones to be effective with, because literally if you get a running start at the basket, boom, contact dunk. If you get deep position in the paint, boom, contact dunk. You know what I mean? They're getting 99 like dunk ratings, layup ratings and all that. So as long as you can get in the paint, which I'm sure most of us can get in the paint, you just go up and you're going to make it at least, you know, 60, 70, 80% of the time. But athletic finishers, they can do their thing. There's no doubt about it. And the last one, we got paint protectors. Paint protectors get exclusive block content, snatch and grab blocks, and smash shot percentage on good contests. They also cancel offensive takeover skills when they're hot. An example, you can't clear out a hot rim protector. Now again, these defensive builds, I think there's going to be big value, especially in Pro-Am, from a paint protector, because these takeover badges are going to be something that obviously we have to see how overpowered they are. I don't want to say overpowered, how effective they are. But if you're able to cancel them with a lockdown or a paint protector, that could be really, really important, especially in a 20-minute game like a Pro-Am game. On the park, paint protectors aren't bad. I don't see the point of them as much. I think there's better center builds you can use on the park. But in Pro-Am, you know, a dual archetype with a paint protector in there. And obviously, we don't know. We have to see exactly how the defense is and stuff like that. But there is value in a paint protector this year, I think. But I don't think it's the best center build to go with, especially not when the game first starts. But listen, guys, that's all we know so far in terms of the takeover. And I'm just using my past 2K knowledge to try to make these opinions. I don't know what build I'm making yet because I can't decide. I don't know badges. I don't know attributes. We have to wait and see. Is it exactly the same? Are certain builds getting different badges, different attributes? There's a lot to take into consideration. If you know what you're making, please leave it in the comments because I need help. I have ideas for what I want to do, but I can't decide. When I do decide, believe me, I'm going to drop my build video, of course, like I do every year. And 2K17, my first build was great. In 2K18, my first build was great. I made a lot of builds in 2K18, and they were all effective in their own way. You guys know that. And the thing about me is I look at everything, man. I take everything into detail. I look at the attributes. I look at contact dunks. I look at every animation in the game that we can see before the game drops. You know, am I going to be able to get it? Because that determines a good build or not. Animations, are you allowed to get them or not? I also look at, of course, the most important thing, guys, before you make your build. Look at your badges. There's people I see making builds and then they're like, oh man, I wouldn't have made it if I knew all I got was whatever, bronze posterizer, bronze brick wall, bronze, you know, whatever. Or they'd be like, damn, I wish I made this build because I would have got gold instead of silver. Like, look at the badges in detail. You have to realize that build you're making is an investment, bro. You're probably dropping $50 to $100 on him when the game drops if you're buying VC. So think about it that way. Don't think, whatever, I'll make it. What if you make it and you hate it 2 days from now and you delete it? You just wasted $50 to $100. That ain't gonna be me. So look out. When I do decide on my build, I will drop that video for you guys. But I hope you enjoyed this one. I know it was a bit longer. If you made it all the way to the end, comment. What are we gonna comment? Comment, I don't know what to comment. How about that? I'm out. Peace.